Tonight on the Whiskey Tornado, we're going to be reviewing new Riff and Blade and Bow. Hey, that kind of rhymed. What's up, guys? Welcome to the first episode of the Whiskey Tornado. I'm your host, Lance. What I wanted to do was create a unique whiskey review channel, and the way I'm going to do that is every week we're going to be reviewing 2 to 3 whiskeys in and of themselves, and then we're going to do what I call a whiskey tornado, and we're going to blend them. We're going to let that blend sit for a couple weeks, and then we'll do a follow-up episode. In that follow-up episode, we're going to take that whiskey tornado, that blend, and blind test it against its parts and see which one turns out best. We may have some bad ones, we may have some good ones. Who knows, maybe we'll stumble across a magical blend. It should be fun. We're not gonna take it too seriously. This is just a very unique way, fun way of exploring whiskey and seeing what we can create. And then we'll be giving away samples of those tornadoes, so make sure you comment on YouTube. Otherwise, just sit back, enjoy, and pour a glass. All right, let's talk about our first whiskey that we're gonna review tonight. And that whiskey is New Riff, out of Kentucky. Bottled in bond, 100 proof, 50% alcohol. New Riff, I thought would be a perfect bottle to start with because it's a newer distillery. They used to source all of their juice from MGP in Indiana. Nothing wrong with that. MGP makes some wonderful whiskeys. But in 2018, they started bottling their own juice. And that's what this is. And since they're a new distillery and I'm new to YouTube, I thought this would be a perfect whiskey to review first. So let's get into it and get a pour. All right, guys, got a nice pour here. I've let it open up and give it a little sniffy sniff. First thing on the smell is just heavy butterscotch. There's some oak in there, obviously. Vanilla. And cinnamon. I think, boy, main thing for me on this, on New Riff is the butterscotch. But it does smell young, and you have to like get past the ethanol. It's pretty sharp. Let's go in for a taste. Cheers, guys. Definitely tastes young and sharp, like on the nose. It's actually hit with oak first. Vanilla. That butterscotch is there. I'll tell you, this is actually, I've let this open up. I've had this bottle for about a year, and the first time I had it, I did not like it. It just tasted too young to me, and then it gave me a very weird aftertaste on the finish. I get an aftertaste, or the only thing I can equate it to is sometimes when someone sprays an aerosol can, like my wife sprays hairspray or my kids do, I get this weird thing in my nose. And that's what I got on the aftertaste the first couple times, which sounds horrible. But so I didn't like this the first couple times, and I've seen other reviews on it, and people go crazy over this stuff. And for me, it's just not my thing. But it's tasting much better than I remember it, and it could be a couple things. You know, never judge a bottle by the neck pour. as you get down into it and it has a chance to oxidize, sometimes it really opens up, and I think that's what's happening with this bottle. I really did not like it the first time. I'm shocked that I'm actually kind of enjoying it. It has a high rye mash bill. You're talking, I think it's like 65% corn, 30% rye, which is pretty high, 5% malted barley, and that rye definitely comes through. Boy, you know, this being a young distillery, I'm really interested to see what this bourbon tastes like in another 4 years. You know, it's just okay now. For right now, I would say this is, you know, if you're just getting into whiskey, I don't know that you're gonna like this too much. If you're a bourbon aficionado, this is something you definitely want on your shelf. This is something I'm not gonna drink a lot of because I'm gonna wait till they come out with the later offerings, you know, in another 2-3 years, and it'll be really interesting to compare this to the 6 or 8 year, whatever they decide to come out with. It's getting a lot better, and I'm really happy that I don't have that aftertaste that I remembered having the first time I tried this. All right, this is gonna be a good one. The legs on it, it's pretty coating. It's sticking to the glass. Color's beautiful. Boy, they're gonna be a good distillery, I think, in a few years. Yeah, cheers, guys. All right, guys, let's get into our second bottle tonight, and we're gonna be talking about Blade and Bow. Blade and Bow, produced by Diageo. They are masters in marketing. If you guys are familiar with the Game of Thrones series, they produced a lot of scotch from that series. I picked this bottle as our second review because I thought it's kind of symbolic of the channel in that every week we're going to be doing tornadoes and blending whiskeys. Well, this apparently or supposedly has Old Stitzel-Weller blended into it via a Solera cask system. If you don't know what a Solera cask system is, you can look it up, but the way I understand it is they have a couple tiers of whiskeys. The top tier barrels being the youngest, and then being older, a little bit older, and then the oldest. And that oldest has some of that Old Stitzel-Weller in it. Basically, they fill a batch from the old barrels, and then the tier right above refills that because they leave some of that old juice in the bottom tier. And then it's kind of like a pyramid. So they take the next youngest, put it in the next oldest. So essentially, they're kind of aging up their whiskey or making it a little older over time. I'm not sure. I mean, there's got to be like minute traces of Old Stitzel-Weller in this bottle now, but it must because they can legally put it all over the bottle. Maybe more marketing than anything, but very interesting system. And I chose these two whiskeys because, you know, I don't think they're going to blend well together, to be honest, but it's symbolic of the channel. We have a new whiskey and then a whiskey that its marketing is driven by blending an Old Stitzel-Weller. And for those of you who don't know what Stitzel-Weller is, they closed in, I think, around 92, and they were responsible for some of the best Pappy, according to a lot of people. So let's get into a pour of this. All right, guys, let's get into the Blade and Bow. Had it opening up a little bit. Let's give it the old tornado spin. Coat the glass, get the oils all around it. Then we can smell it, give it the sniffy sniff. Oh, much better nose on the Blade and Bow. It smells older. And by older, I mean not as sharp. This is just, for me, pure apple pie. There's definitely some cinnamon on there, and like green apples specifically. Oak, maybe a little bit of vanilla. Typical bourbon flavors, but just ripe apple pie with cinnamon, and definitely caramel. It's beautiful, beautiful nose. Going for a taste. Cheers. Sweet, delicious bourbon. Nose transfers to the palate. Palate's very similar to the nose. I don't think I get any flavors on the palate that I'm not getting on the nose. Delicious, good stuff, really good stuff. Definitely tastes a little older than the new Riff. I gotta tell you, going into this, I was sure I was gonna like Blade and Bow more, and I do. I enjoy the Blade and Bow a little bit more. As far as like who this bourbon would be good for, pretty much anybody. This would be a good, safe bourbon to get. You could serve to anybody that comes over to your house, and most people are gonna like it. As far as the blend goes for the Tornado, what I'm thinking is, I think we're gonna go 2 parts New Riff, 1 part Blade and Bow. And the reason is, I think the new Riff, and this isn't gonna sound great, but I think the new Riff is gonna bring the Blade and Bow down as far as taste quality. Whereas the Blade and Bow might bring the new Riff up, but in my blending experience, it's really hard to blend out young age in a bourbon. So I really don't know how this is gonna turn out, and we're gonna taste it in a couple weeks. But I'll go ahead and blend these 2 parts New Riff, 1 part Blade and Bow. We'll let it sit for a couple weeks, and we'll do a follow-up episode. Comment in the comments below, and for a chance to win a sample of the Tornado that we create. We're gonna do a blind taste test of the blend against these 2. I think I'll be able to pick everything out, but it'll be interesting and fun nonetheless. I'm really interested to see if the Blade and Bow can help the age out on the new Riff, but I doubt it. But I am pleasantly surprised. The new Riff tasted much better to me than it did 6-7 months ago, the last time I had it, which is encouraging. Now I'll be looking forward to keeping this bottle on my shelf until New Riff comes out with an older offering, and then compare the 2. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Really helps me out. I'm excited to grow this channel with you guys, and special thanks to those who are the first ones here that subscribed. I think we have 150 followers on Facebook right away, so that's exciting. Thanks again for all your support, guys. We'll be doing a review next week, and then in 2 weeks we're gonna have the Tornado shoot off, where we're gonna take the blend and blind taste it against its parts. All right, take care, guys. Cheers.